Good evening and welcome to my program, The Insight with Sameena Khan. Tonight we're going to discuss three different issues, all relating to Pakistani internal politics. And the first issue which we are going to discuss is very sad because recently a superintendent of police committed suicide, and since 2011 there are 5 CSP officers who committed suicide, but I think, if I'm not wrong, in past few years that's third or fourth police officer who has committed suicide. What are the reasons, what is happening, and why they are committing suicides, and why we are losing high officials? We will be discussing this in our program. The second issue which I am going to discuss is in relation to Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. As you are aware that the new chief minister is sworn in about a week ago, and since then he has tried to meet his party leader Imran Khan, but he has not been allowed to go and see him. Even today request was declined and he has to go back from Adiala jail. And why? And there's a delay in constituting a cabinet in KPK, because as per the new chief minister, he has to see his leader first and then he will be able to appoint or he will be able to announce a cabinet. Why is he not giving the permission to see Imran Khan? What are the reasons, what are the issues, and how is it going to create more problems for Chief Minister in KPK? We will be discussing this as well in the program. And the third issue is internal politics in Azad Kashmir. There are news that the current Prime Minister of Azad Kashmir has refused to submit his resignation. Instead, actually, he demanded to bring a vote of no confidence against him, and if that happens, then he will go home. And People's Party need at least 27 members who can submit the vote of no confidence against this Prime Minister. So what is going to happen there? We will be discussing that issue as well. I am joined by a guest in my studio. His name is Shahram Mashood. He is a solicitor, and today he is participating as an analyst. Shahram, thank you so much for joining me in the program.
Thank you, Sameena, for having me here. Thank you.
And we have my guest online today because this is a very busy time and I think it is very difficult for him to get in the studio. So he will be joining us from home. Shabir Hussain, he's an analyst. So thank you very much, Shabir sir, for joining as well.
Thank you very much, Sameena. Thank you.
And if I'm not wrong, my third guest is still not connected, or shall I introduce him as well? I think I will wait for the cue from the studio, and as soon as he joins, I'll be introducing him. Shahram, let's start from you. Very sad news, but I think that is not the first time that a high police official has committed suicide. And I'm sure we'll be discussing before the program that the reason, there's no confirmed reason as yet, but there are certain issues. So what's happening and why is that a problem in our police force?
I believe so. Workload nowadays, because particularly if we talk about Islamabad police, he was serving in Islamabad police's last couple of weeks now. So he was there in Kashmir as well when they had riots over there. So they served over there. So he had some psychological issues, and he was seeing some psychiatrists in Islamabad as well. Though his wife, she is also a doctor, and the family also providing him support, certain sort of that. And also the doctor advised that he shouldn't be on the duty because of his mental conditions, and also the weapon, he doesn't need to carry any weapon so with him. Again, the reports, according to the reports, he requested for his leave as well on health basis, but
it was refused.
And they refused him. And eventually on the same day, I think so, he was also trying to get some relief, to take some leave, to take some time off from the work. But and he had a call with I think his seniors,
Superior.
I believe so. So after having the call with them, he exchanged some words with them, and then
he committed suicide.
He just
what a
shot
waste
himself.
of life. What a waste of life. But what I've heard, I mean, I've just read a news somewhere as well, that there were some previous investigations going on against him when he was deputed in Balochistan and some corruption cases and stuff like that. And I think there were some personal clashes between the high officials within the police force. But let's go to my guest, Shabir Hussain. Let's ask him as well. What do you think? What is the cause of this increased suicidal rate within the police force? And especially, we are losing high police officials. We have lost 5 CSP officers since 2011.
Well, Sabina, the biggest reason for the police going down so badly is probably the politicizing everything. You know, everything is running around with all those things. I'm just listening to a lot of echo here. I don't know what's going on in the studio
Sorry,
there.
yeah, just ignore the echo. We can hear you perfectly fine in the studio.
All right. Samina, the point is that police has under a lot of stress. There's no doubt about it. And so they're not really given the proper facilities, proper roll calls, proper timings. There are so many duties that they are being taken to. And the worst part is that these political leadership, they really treat them like their own personal servants, and they have to do those things. Probably that's one of the reason. But I was reading another article today that it may not be really a suicide attempt. It could have been another murder or something like that, because what they were arguing that the bullet that has killed him is not from a pistol, it is from a SMG, which is not easy for anyone to just take it on and get it shot at himself.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
think
how that happened.
what I heard as well, that he asked one of his jawans who was sitting in the back seat to hand over his weapon, and he handed over that SMG to him, and then he killed himself.
Yeah, it is. It's very strange. There's no doubt that I'm saying he could be under a lot of pressure. There are so many such reports where he was posted in Balochistan, which is referred by our other guest also here. The point is that he was superseded, as I understand. He was depressed because of that. He was not
Twice.
promoted according to his seniority.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be a reason for him to just take his own life. There must be
Yeah.
much more than that.
Much more than that,
He
yes.
was a very promising officer. He probably stood second in the CSP exam of his batch. I don't know which course he was from. He wasn't really someone who could
2017.
be seen as a underdog or something like that. He was a promising young man who should have a lot of love for the life, and he probably was not really given a fair chance to get everything he deserved.
Yeah.
And Islamabad police otherwise also under a lot of pressure, because what we heard about them being sent away to Kashmir also. I have seen it with my own eyes. I have experienced it with my own eyes. Not now. I'm talking 30 years back, 27 years back, that Islamabad police was under a lot of pressure even at that time, because they didn't have proper transportation system, logistic system. They would just be standing on the roads, and then they'll be told to go away and again come back next morning early in the morning. But they were most probably the Jawans. He's a
Yeah.
CSP officer,
Yeah.
but he must also be under a lot of pressure in this way.
Probably. Right. We are joined by my third guest, Mr. Hasif Khan. He has a long-term affiliation with Pakistan's one of the very famous political party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and he was also a former spokesperson of PTI for Northwest and Hamburg side. If I'm not wrong, Asif, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Right, we are discussing about the loss of very superior police officials, and which they have committed suicide. You must have heard, Asif, that about 2-3 days ago, another senior police official has committed suicide. We are discussing the reason, what could be the reason. It's not confirmed what has happened, and I'm not sure if you look at the demography of our country, there are these investigations, but never we would be able to know what has actually happened. So I hope and pray that on this occasion, public should be informed whatever has happened. So like Shabir San was mentioning about that, there are a lot of, they don't have any facilities sometimes, but I think there's another thing which is stress management. I'm not sure if these police officers or even Jawans are actually able to handle and cope with this stress when they have to go through different kind of procedures. And as you mentioned, Shabir, that he was superseded twice. His promotion was due, but every time he was just shunned down, that he was not given promotion, and that might be an element of stress. But because you have served in Pakistan Army, and if you can just compare how our army officials, whether they are just normal Fauji Jawans, or whether they are NCOs or whether they are officers, how they are prepared to cope with this kind of issues when they're in the line of war, or in sort of the usual stress within their line of work.
Well, Samina, if you draw the comparison between the army and the police services, there's no comparison as such, because army is supposed to be, as a leader, you are supposed to be commanding men along with them, and you're going through all kinds of rigorous training, all sorts of difficulties when you're posted on the FTLs, when you're posted in the hard areas, you're eating almost the same things, you're doing all the same thing. Even once you're commissioned and you join the unit, you're sent with the Jawans to live there for a month or so, just to understand how difficult or what type of a life they are going to go through. Officer is not just an
yeah,
officer.
I think there's a process that there's a process like 1 week you have to spend time with the normal Jawans, and another one with the NCOs, and then you go back to mess and something like that.
Yeah, we have different procedures, different units would have different traditions to do that, but the point is that it's not, we in the army, we are very close to Jawans. We are not something far away. Whereas if you compare these civil superior services of Pakistan, these CSP officers, they become like a king. Their start is very lavish. Like they start off with if you become an ASP or AC, for example, as your first posting, you're given a brand new Land Cruiser or whatever, a lot of powers and stuff like that, and his word of mouth makes a lot of difference, and they don't really equate themselves. There is a difference between army, so I won't really compare the army life.
But my question was in relation to mental strength training. How a Fauji Jawan is, whether they're the Jawan or the officers, they must have been given some kind of training where they are so strong that they don't even think about committing suicide.
No, well, I think the training in PMA or training in any of the training center is so rigorous compared to all other trainings of all departments, all other forces like police, what you're talking about. Police is no match with those kind of trainings, because you go through a 2 years rigorous training
course,
in
yes.
PMA or 4 years rigorous training in PMA, which is full of rigor, ragging, all sorts of things, and then you're sent away to Siachen and these days to Waziristan and all these areas where the life is very tough.
Yeah.
So it's not that simple. If you start off the life cycle from that pedestal, and to the contrary, if you become an AC or a ASP for that matter, and you just start to live a very lavish life, there's no comparison in that way.
Right.
But I would still feel that army is very organized, police is a very disorganized force, and it is misused a lot. Army has its own discipline, and is not misused in that respect at all.
Right. Okay.
So,
Let's. I have to take a comment from our guest Asif Khan. Asif, why do you think that we are losing our police officers, and especially those bright officers, and why they're committing suicides? They are going through some kind of mental trauma, but they are not given any training, or we don't know what is the reason behind it, which is very, very sad.
I totally agree with Shabir Saab. I was listening to his comments earlier on. At the moment, the way our police force has been used and abused against political workers, political activists to crack down on innocent civilians, I think this will have an effect on police force. And this is one of the reasons. The second reason is he has also pointed out the bullish behavior of superiors and the way they treat their officers like their personal servants. And the last 2.5, 3 years, the police has been used so badly that obviously if a level-headed person will have an effect on his mental health. And I think this also contributes to these kind of incidents. And I agree with Shabir that this doesn't look like a suicide. When he was pointing out that this person used a gun, it's the position that he's been described. He was sat in his car. It's very difficult. He could have done it with a pistol, but not with a big gun. So there is a foul play, and the other reason is the way these policemen, officers have been used like goons against political opponents in Pakistan.
That's a different scenario. I agree with you, Asif, but that is a completely different scenario, because I think at the moment we are looking at our top brass in police force, and I know when they have to deal with some kind of political protest or any other protest, it's mostly the police. They're not the high officials. They don't go there and just try and stop the mob. It's basically the Jawans. They are there.
No.
It's
I don't agree, Samina. If
no.
you remember, they were injured.
Let me finish my question. So at the moment, what we are actually observing at the moment, that these officers, like Shahram, one of my guests in the studio, mentioned that there was some kind of inquiry which was going on against him, and then Shabir mentioned that he was supposed to have promotion twice, but it was stopped by his IG or any superior, and that has taken a toll on its mental health, and I think he was under some mental treatment as well. So this is a kind of situation where we have to just look at this scenario as well, that the way they are treated by their officials. I know I agree with you, Asif, there that this can play a very important part on their mental health, but we have to look at the fact that what is actually happening to them, how they are being treated. If they deserve a promotion and not been given a promotion, and it will be stopped by, shunned by their high official, obviously it will play a very negative role on their mental health. That is actually very important to understand and obviously to dissect it.
That is true. It's more than one factor.
Right. Shahram, what do you think? Do you think this inquiry would be ever be in public?
I don't think so. Never been happened in Pakistan. Especially some of my fellows, they raise a point that how can a person shoot himself in a car or in a jeep, for example, if he took the gun from his subordinate and he shot in a .9 and stayed on his forehead, and nobody was unable to stop him at that point. So again, there are many misconceptions about it, because in the reports and even in the community, in journalists, that they're saying that maybe somebody shot him, and if somebody shot him, so why not these reports? Why initially these reports were recorded on media, but now by the time it's passing out.
But there was a statement from one of the his juniors who actually gave him his gun. He said, he asked me to give me your gun, I gave him my gun. So there are different news, but obviously at the moment we can't actually, we don't know the facts yet. So I think we have to wait for the full inquiry. So that's basically very sad that we are losing CSP officers, and I think there should be, the police department should look into this, and they should try and give them some mental strength training, and also if they are being bullied by their officials, that is something I think our government and people who are responsible should look into it. So let's go to the second issue. The second issue we are going to discuss about is the newly elected Chief Minister of KPK, who has been trying to see his leader, but every time he has been refused. Even today he went to Diyala jail with the hope of seeing him, but obviously he had to come back because he was never allowed. And because of this, he is delaying to constitute a cabinet. And now, without a cabinet, I don't know how he's surviving and how will he survive, for how long he can wait to see Imran Khan, and then he will make a decision to build a cabinet. What's your take on that, Shahram?
Right. So any CM who's elected, normally in Pakistan, they normally go to see their party leaders and they discuss about the people and the cabinet members. Again, Mr. Afridi, he tried a lot, like the third time. He went to Diyala jail, but they didn't allow him to go in. And again, he addressed to the Prime Minister last week as well and sent request to the Punjab government. But so today, this is the main hurdle, because to set up the cabinet, and also he's very fresh face for the party as well at the moment. So he doesn't have much experience to deal with such things. Again, there is a party pressure on him as well. He got a council of 4 people who will deal with him and take the province on floor. But again, as just a CM or as a party worker, he is unable to take decision. So he wants to see a chairman, Imran Khan, to make a final decision. So there are political hurdles, we can say that, but there is no any constitutional or courts already, like even the Islamabad High Court, they allowed him to go and attend and see his party chairman, but still he is not capable of that. Yeah.
Asif, this delay in making a cabinet is definitely is not good for the province, because the new elected chief minister should start. I'm sure he must be that must be in his the top of the list, that he should try and do something, start working for his people, for province, and it is delaying. Do you think he should delay this cabinet and still making effort to see Imran Khan first?
First of all, I condemn those who made our country, our homeland as a banana state. I mean, why should he be stopped? He is the elected CM of KPK. He has tried every avenue, legal avenue. He went to, there was no reason for him to go to Islamabad High Court, but he did go there. They granted him permission. And despite that, he was refused a meeting with his party leader, Imran Khan. And remember, KPK has voted for Imran Khan for the 3rd time. This never happened in KPK ever before. So therefore, because there was a change in the government in KPK, this is new CM who was challenged that he will never become CM. But despite that, 90 members of PTI voted for him. They were pressurized, they were threatened, but they still voted for him because it was Imran Khan's direction. Now, what is happening in Pakistan? Trying to stop KPK chief minister to meet Imran Khan so he can direct him how to form cabinet, how to make his policies, how to take KPK forward, how to fight terrorism in KPK, how to have a stance on military operation in KPK. So he needs direction from his leader, and he has been stopped. So I think everything else is irrelevant. The main thing is we should condemn this act, and we should be able to say what is wrong.
Yeah.
And that is happening, and those people who are running Pakistan never learn a lesson. that they cannot undermine people's mandate in keeping it.
Political victimization in Pakistan is not new. It was always there. I think in the past it was even worse.
But this is extreme, Samina.
Yeah,
Sorry to say.
I mean, we are living in a time of social media and too much awareness, so we know these things. But I think in the past it was only one channel, and even the faces were banned to appear on the channels. Shabir, and I'll come to you with the point. Do you think Mr. Afridi should still delay to constitute a cabinet, and his own province will suffer because of this?
Well, it's not the province which is suffering because of this very reason, I suppose.
No, but you need people to run different things. You have a province to look
Well, we all
after. You
know
have your
how the
people to
things
look
are
after.
running anyway, as
But
Asif
it's
said,
on autopilot
it's a
at the moment.
Banana republic
No,
already, and things are not really going the way they should be going, and it's ridiculous to really find those people not allowing him. This is absolutely absurd. I'm saying, how can you really not allow him to meet his own leader? This is something, well, both of our guests have said that he has got the permission from the High Court, which he never required. Actually, it is the director, basically, it is the directive of the High Court to allow him, but they are still not allowing him. They are making fool of themselves. This is really not seen in the past. If you say that it was the practice in the past also, well, in those days it was not known to the people. It is creating a lot of unrest within the people. People are getting angry, and that is going to bring about a very bad result out of all this. When you say that he should make a cabinet, well, he should, in my view, he should, because today I believe the latest news I heard that Imran Khan has directed him through his sister, Dr. Uzma, or Azma, I think that's the name of his sister, who has said that he should choose his own small cabinet and nominate them. I don't know whether he'll do that. He's an emotional person. He's a very devoted person who probably loves his leader. And he should have all the right to do the way he wants to do it. It is, I had said in the previous program also, the central government should really be much larger and should have not
Show some
watered
maturity.
themselves into this kind of a
Yes.
situation.
Show some maturity.
This is not good for the country. This is not good for KPK, and it is going to harm all of us.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Shahram, obviously, like both of them mentioned, that it is not right, and I think that is getting absurd anyway. We should all accept it. But whatever is happening, do you think the chief minister should have to make decisions himself rather than waiting?
What
Because he can't control the situation.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's capable of that at this stage. But
Why
again,
do you think he's no experience?
He's not experienced, to be honest. He, as I said, our fellow, that he is devoted to his party cause. That's it. So, but again, he got the council, by the way, with him. So yes, they can step forward and make the cabinet.
Try and establish a cabinet.
Yeah, yes, they can. But again, everyone just want to wait and to discuss with Imran Khan first.
So you think he doesn't have that kind of wisdom to do that?
I think so. He got, but he doesn't have any sort of experience in the past. He never been.
So he doesn't want to make mistake. That's why he want to make it clear with his party leader first, rather than having.
No, what happened the last time with the ex-CM?
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to get bullied by the people, to be honest. So he just want to see the Khan first, Mr. Khan first, and then he wants to make decisions.
Right. Asif, do you agree with this Shahram's statement?
I think he is quite capable. He came from a practical struggle. He is a student leader. But the principle is, I think we deviate from the original subject. Why should he be barred? This is the fundamental issue, is not about the cabinet, about anything else. The thing is why they are creating obstacle of a simple thing.
Yeah.
When
No.
Nawaz Sharif was in prison, he used to call everybody in the prison, 10, 25, 30 people per day, why Imran Khan has been singled out,
I
why he's been
think
treated
that never
differently.
happened, Asif. That never happened. I don't know when you think that has happened.
No,
Even he
it
was not
happened, and
allowed.
also,
No, even he was
even
not
though,
allowed to do that.
I'm giving you
And
example.
we
I'm
have
giving you another
seen that
example.
Shahbaz Sharif had to wait for so many days and weeks,
Another
sometimes to
example.
just see his brother. So I don't think so, Asif, that has ever
Another
happened.
example. Another example. When Nawaz Sharif was residing in London, the whole government should use to travel on our taxpayers'
Yeah.
expense and used to come for consultation.
That's I will
Day
accept, but
in,
not
day
in the
out.
jail.
So
So he was
No,
never
that
had
was
that
in jail,
opportunity.
yeah.
why not Imran Khan has been allowed a simple thing
Yeah.
that he has chosen a CM, and CM is, since he took his oath, is seeking a simple meeting with his leader so he can get some direction. He could tell him that what my intentions are. He could get some direction on certain key policies. Simple thing.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I think let's keep our facts straight and right. Even Nawaz Sharif was not allowed to see his party members when he was in jail. I agree with you that when he was in London, people used to come and have just for
So it's same
to get
principle.
so that's different, but he was never allowed in jail, and obviously whoever was doing that before was wrong, and whoever is doing this now is wrong. So we can't say that whatever happened before was right, but whatever is happening now is wrong. We have to be very factual here, and in in Pakistani politics, these kind of texts should not be used, because I have heard Nawaz Sharif's interview where he said he was never, his wife was on deathbed and he was not allowed to go and see her. So this has happened. That was bad, and it should not be happening. To whatever is happening to CM now that he's allowed to see Imran Khan, I think that is political immaturity, and he should be given permission to do that. Having said that, Shabir, Mr. Afridi has seen Corps Commander Peshawar, and I think he is a different statement before, but now he has seen him, and when he was asked this question, he said, oh, he came to see me and congratulate me, and everybody is welcome in this house. So I'm going to, I think I've been told by the studio we have to take a break, but I will come back and with the same question, on the same note, I will ask the answer for my question. So I'll see you after a short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. I asked a question before taking a break, and it was towards Shabir Hussain about the recent meeting between Corps Commander Peshawar and CM KPK Suhail Afridi, and then when he was asked this question that if he can confirm that he has met Corps Commander Peshawar, and he said he is the Chief Minister of KPK, anybody is welcome to come and visit him. But the question arises here that did he seek Imran Khan's approval before seeing Corps Commander Peshawar? Shabir Sahab, this was my question before going to break. What are your take on this?
Well, Samina, unfortunately, we have very unusual political scenario of Pakistan politics, and these should not be very serious news or something which should be brought to the news headlines or anywhere for that matter. Meeting a corps commander is just a courtesy call, I believe, because Peshawar is the capital of KPK, and the chief minister sits there, and we have such like situation on the borders also, and the involvement of establishment into the politics of Pakistan since the creation of Pakistan also. So that's how it comes, but usually it would just be just a normal courtesy call, just to have a face-to-face meeting with one another. It should not be really compared to what you're saying that he should have made the decision
No,
in
I
terms
didn't
of
say that he should.
announcing his.
I'm not saying that he should. What my question was that if he is so careful in making small, and I agree with him that he is trying to be very
I think
cautious,
this is not
preventive,
political.
but sorry.
This is not political. This is, as I said, this is just a courtesy call. This is just a norm to me. As I said, this should not be a news at all. Meeting a corps commander meeting a chief minister of any province for that matter, it should not be something.
No, but
very
that is a
important
news in a
incident,
scenario
but
where
we have
you,
a very unusual situation.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I get your point.
It is a news in the scenario when you are addressing large public and you are saying different things about that same institution, but then privately you are still meeting them, then it's a news.
Not privately.
I think it's not that publicly they are against the army. They're speaking against the system.
I'm not sure if you have heard him recently addressing to the public. He made some very hard-hitting statements against
Well, that's really
DGISPR, and
unfortunate. We should not really get to that point. That's the political environment that has been created over the period of time that needs to be diffused somehow or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't really want to create that kind of atmosphere. It should be very, very. I'm saying army should not have any role to play in the politics, but unfortunately, the reality is different. I'm saying in Pakistan, we find that very common thing, and mostly because, in my view, the political establishment or political people have not really matured themselves to take a hold of the politics of Pakistan. That's why the army keeps interfering all these years. They should not really have the reason to come into it, and that's where we are weakening our own state, for that matter.
Yeah.
But
So let's move on to Shahram. Shahram, same question which I've asked Shabir. What do you think? Is that a valid question? Do you disagree with our guest that he said it's not a news? Do you think it's a news in the scenario when he is going publicly and making very hard and very, brutal statement against Pakistan Army and institution, and especially DGISPR? He recently targeted him quite hard.
I think so. Okay, they had their meeting is just a procedural arrangement, because as a CM, he should see someone from from the army or from the joint forces. So the corps commander, he met with him. But again, as if you talk about his stance, he took against the army or the establishment. He was talking about he wasn't happy how they deal with the Mr. Khan and the PTI in large. So yes, this is the news basically. So he should seek permission or advice from Khan as well before seeing any army official. In fact, the brigadier or in the corps commander, who is also has his own significance on the other side, because there are two powers mainly in our country. If the corps commander, he got the most powers, but again the CM is also, the both are parallel. So yes, again, as Mr. said, it shouldn't be a news, but it is a news because a person who has some sort of emotions against the institution, and he doesn't want to discuss things with them directly, because he wants to see his leader first. So, but they didn't allow him to do so, because everybody knows, mainly the people think that if the courts allowed him to go and see him, so who is stopping them? So I think so, them are stopping him to do so. But again, if he's seeing them, might be he's asking them.
Does that mean there is some backdoor diplomacy going on as well, and some discussions in progress?
Again, the ex-CM had the same issues. People were thinking about him as well. He's doing, backdoor communication or meetings with them to deal some sort of stuff. I don't think so he will do it, because he's very devoted and very devoted worker. He's devoted to his ideology as well. So I don't think so he will do it.
And
but
quite
yes.
popular.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Asif, right. Just your point on this. That do you think if we will keep this friction alive in our politics, we will go any far? Just your honest opinion, not as your affiliation with the party, but just as Asif Khan as a Pakistani.
As a Pakistani, I think if you talk about that he has given, Afridi has given some fiery statement against DGISPR. My question is DGISPR God or something? He in beginning made statement that he will not let this guy get elected. Was that his role?
No, but was that a news? No, but no. Sorry, Asif, I have to stop you here.
Let me answer.
I have to stop you here. Does that news came, like you just said, because we are live on TV, people are watching us, they are going to believe our news. Like you just mentioned, that DGISPR make a public statement that he will make sure that this Shahriar Afridi is not going to get elected to CM. Is that what you're saying?
He did say that in his press conference in Peshawar, at this corps commander's house. that he
Publicly,
will,
he said that categorically he said this.
That he categorically said that certain person will not be allowed. This will not be allowed. So what I'm saying is that it was beginning. Who is CM KPK? He is elected CMA of KPK province, elected by the people of KPK. Yeah. Who is DGISPR? He is a employee in a certain defense institution. Who is Corps Commander? Corps Commander is also responsible for a specific region to defend our borders and be responsible for the management and everything. So obviously, according to the Constitution of Pakistan, CM KPK is very superior, actually superior than his bosses. So as per protocol, as a courtesy, Corps Commander should pay a visit to CMF KP. That's what he has done. It should be no news.
Yeah. Okay. So, Shabir, do you agree with Asif's statement that DGISPR made a public statement that he will make sure that Shahriar Afridi is not elected as CM?
Not Shahriar, Sohail Afridi.
Sohail Afridi, sorry.
I'm not aware of that statement from him that he said that he'll not allow Afridi to be the chief minister, but he must have made such kind of a statement, which probably I think we are in a area now which is very unfortunate. We shouldn't really have come that far to confront each other or to put the situation in such a way. These are just the personal egos which are coming up, and they are not good for the country or for the society for that matter. And we should try and avoid such a situation. And if you have to follow this constitution, then follow the constitution, but no one is following the constitution in that country anyway. We have never seen that happening. It's a very unfortunate situation, and we should get out of it somehow or the other.
Right.
There is one more point.
Yeah.
Samina?
Yeah, go on.
DGISPR's job is to point out Pakistan's defense preparation, Pakistan's defense policy, what's happening on Afghan-Pakistan border, what's our preparation, what kind of weapons, training, etc. He should not be meddling in political affairs of Pakistan.
Like how? I mean, is there any particular point you want to
Many
make?
times, this is the whole problem in our society. Nobody is doing their own job.
No.
I
I know,
mean,
but
politicians.
But if you can make a particular statement where he has actually publicly said, because like you said before, I have not heard him saying, oh yeah, he will make sure that Afridi is not elected as CM. But if you have any particular statement as a DGISPR,
I wish I can play it in your TV. I'm shocked that you are not aware of these
send me the
political
video and I
statements.
promise I'll play it. Send me the video and I promise I will play it on the channel.
I will send it to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, our viewers, the people who are watching, at the moment, obviously Pakistani media is control media. Pakistani media is irrelevant.
Yeah.
This is a UK-based channel, and obviously we should give both sides
Real
of
news,
view,
facts,
we should
yes.
be very straightforward.
Exactly. That's what I meant earlier on, that if we are doing a special program on some Pakistan's personal current affairs, and they are very serious affairs, then we should be very factual. We should telling truth to people, not like
And you
what happens
promise
in
you will
Pakistan
play
in
it.
public. Sorry? I promise.
And
I
you
will.
promise you'll play
I
it.
promise. Because whatever you have said, if he has said that in the statement, because I have not heard, I actually completely follows all of his press conference and briefing. I have not heard it. But if I miss something, I promise I will play it. Because I think as a DGISPR, his job is to make sure to tell the enemy, any enemy of the country, that if you are trying to do something, we are there to defend our borders. And if somebody inside the country is trying to protect them and telling them, please do not do anything against them, then obviously that's his job to come in to the field and tell them, look, if there's anybody acting against the state, whether they are out of the state or within the state, it's their job to defend the state. So that's his job if he's doing it. Let's move on to a brief topic. As you all are aware, that Today was the fourth round of negotiations with Afghan Taliban, and that was happening in Turkey. But we still have not reached any resolution because Afghan Taliban, or government of Afghanistan, is refusing or is not actually accepting that they will give any word that TTP will not use their homeland against Pakistan. Shabir Sahab, I'll start from you. What do you think that why Afghan Taliban, Afghani government is still reluctant to give the word which they promised before?
Samina, it has always been very difficult to convince the Taliban ever since they came into being. Ever since the Taliban were formed, it was very difficult for those who were their handlers, for them to really communicate with them. They're very difficult people. And we do understand that. And under these circumstances, when we have the situation with India coming up and we expect something bigger coming up, in my view, something can happen very soon or in the coming days, this makes sense for them to pressure us to just try and put kind of a demand which is not acceptable to us, and they want to get away with all those things. So this is how they are playing, and they're going to do all that. Otherwise, also, when this all happened, Pakistan had a very clear stance on in terms of them not allowing the TTP into Pakistan, and there's nothing else that Pakistan is asking from them. Although it all is long debate, we can always talk about it, and Pakistan has made many mistakes in the past.
Yes.
But now, since we have tried to convince them, they will continue to do the same.
Yeah.
As India is going to pressurize you on the eastern border, they'll do it on this side. So we are in a very precarious situation. It is going to be very difficult for Pakistan.
True, that's true. Asif, do you think whatever is happening at the Pakistan-Afghan border, that there are so many trucks standing still, full of vegetables, fruits, and they are rotting away? Do you think it's not bad for Afghanistan economy, and they should try and reach to any decision sooner than later?
I think as a Pakistani, first of all, we have historical ties with the Afghans. They are our brothers, and obviously we want to see peace and stability
True.
In that region. And I'm glad that this present regime has followed Imran Khan's advice and started to have a dialogue with them instead of bombing them first. And I think end of the day, we cannot replace our neighbors. We have trouble on our western border with India. We had a brief war with them. We had some tension with Iran. And now Al-Taliban were supposed to be our allies. We've been supporting them for the last 2-3 decades. We supported them, we armed them, we trained them. And we thought once they will come in power, we will be at peace and we will have trade and everything. But unfortunately, this present regime was asleep for the last 2.5 years. They did not allow Chief Minister of KPK to
I think they're asleep from past 30-40 years, Asif, not from 2 years. So just don't give a blame to one particular person.
I tell you why.
I think they all were involved.
I know this is your sensitive area.
No, please. Do not blame me for anything. No, please, Asif. We should not be personal. Don't get personal.
No, let me complete. Yeah. What I'm saying is that Bilawal Zardari was foreign minister for a long time. Did he ever visited Afghanistan?
This is happening since late 80s, I think even before that.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to,
but then
as mentioned before, please state facts. This is not that something has started
Samina,
from past couple of years or 4 years, 5 years. It has been going on for years.
I am aware of history, Samina. What I'm saying is, I'm talking about recent past. What I'm saying is, since Taliban came in power, Taliban was supposed to be a friendly regime, friendly government in Afghanistan. We thought we will have a peace in our backyard. But that is on our part, we have to take some blame as well, that we could not keep those good relations, or we could not
Exactly.
sort out
I
things,
agree.
that
I
we ended
agree
up
here. Yeah.
bombing Kabul and Kandahar, and that is not a good thing, because also we rushed Afghan refugees to go back to Afghanistan in a very brutal way, because there are some Afghans who born and brought up in Pakistan, and they've been sent back within no time. The young people who could not speak a word of Pashto, been sent back to Afghanistan. So I think on our part we made some hasty decisions
Some
as well. I
mistake.
don't know.
We definitely,
Yeah.
Pakistan has made some historical mistakes. There is no doubt about it. But if we say that that has started recently, 4, 5, 5, 10 years ago, no, there's a
It made
long
it worse in the
history.
last 2-3 years.
Right. Okay. But I think this is going on for a long time, and we should have done it. We should have corrected it ages ago, but we didn't. And we are trying
Especially
to
when
do something.
Taliban came in power, a friendly government.
Yeah. So this is something which I think we have to be very, very careful. Shahram, what's your take on this?
Right. As he said that the children were born in Pakistan, so they are not Afghanis anymore, or their family settled in this country for more than 3 decades now. But again, look, every country, they should secure their sovereignty. They should respect to the neighbors as well. So we Pakistani, or the Pakistani establishment, they set up the government for Taliban this time, recent times, 3 years ago. And since they took in power, so these things started happening, because Pakistani was saying that you shouldn't back the TLP Pakistan, TTP Pakistan, sorry. And but again, so what happened today? So okay, we'll come back to today later on. So in the past, we used to deal with each other directly, right? But now we don't have any confidence with either. We
don't trust.
We don't trust each other. So now we went to Doha, then we went to Istanbul, right? And today what happened, the negotiations, they just called off because of nobody is agreed on the points.
Yeah.
So what Pakistani raised, the Pakistani points were that we need to secure our borders. So you should support us, because the insurgencies from your areas coming into our areas. So again, Mr. Our other
Asif.
fellow, Asif, he raised a point that is happening in recent years. No, it's not happening in the recent years. It's happening is more than a decade now, because the return of the Afghanis, because there is no such system in Pakistan to give everybody indefinite leave to remain. For example, they were just refugees over there, and they just need to stay here and then go back. So if they are going back now, our government wants to send them back. Yeah, there are some. We can discuss that some brutal action.
But if I'm not wrong, what I actually, when I was researching about it, that they were giving some time frame as well in the past, that just leave Pakistan, but they didn't. And then I think they were trying to just hide and
no, they gave them some time frame to leave the country.
Yeah.
Again, they extended it as well.
Yeah.
But now the governments thought that they should take some action against them, so that they can leave the country straight away
as soon as possible.
as soon as possible, right? So now it's happening there. But yes, when you use powers against civilians or against people, yes, there are some brutal actions reported as well.
Yeah.
But again, who dragged this situation? Because them, even the Afghanis, he said this is our friendly government, should be friendly government. Yes, from both sides.
Yep.
Not from our side. They should also respect our sovereignty. They should call off their hideouts in Pakistan as well, and tell them that
and stop supporting terrorists.
Obviously terrorism. That's the main point in KPK at the moment as well. And again, the government is trying to sort it out, these things, but they're still not in the power to set up things. Because
Shabir Sen, if you can just enlighten us with, I think that reminds me what happened in Swat a few years ago, when it was almost occupied by Taliban, and then the way they did the operation, and Swat was almost their own territory. Do you think that we need a same kind of operation, or we should go slower?
Well, if you look at Swat operation, you would realize that the local population of Swat was very much in favor of the military operation, because they were really sick of those TTP elements who were very harsh and they never wanted to be. The people of Swat were very different than those elements who were just trying to impose their will in
Right.
that area. And so it was very successful. Under these circumstances, what we find here in Waziristan or the old FATA area now that's part of KPK, things are totally different. People are not really in favor of any such operation. Then, if it comes to the Taliban of Afghanistan, the Afghan regime, we can't afford to have a war with them or with Afghanistan and India at the same time. We got to be much more diplomatic. We got to find a solution which is good for the country. We can say these were the decisions made long ago and we followed the wrong policies. We can debate on them, and those people were really not far-sighted. They were very short-sighted people. That's the problem in our society. That's what we're facing, a big problem even now. We just make a policy, a government policy or a foreign policy or whatever policy we make on the personal whims of an individual. We never bring them to debate. We never do any intellectual deliberation onto such policies when they are deliberated on the whims of a person. Just you draw a policy and that's what you get the result for. This is what we are, that's what how I understood Asif. He was trying to say that in the last 4 years since Taliban have taken over from the Americans, since they came back, we should have really made an endeavor to be much more closer to them and win them over. We did not really make an effort during these past 2-3 years. We know their character. We have been knowing them. I would say I know them since 90s when we formed them. We formed them. No one else formed them. Pakistan, ISI formed them. It is we who created Taliban and we have the contacts with them. We should have really been much more wiser in terms of dealing with them, in terms of winning their sympathies. But it is very difficult. As I was telling you, it's been very difficult in the past also to communicate with them. They don't really understand. So we should have formed our policies based on that. And now we are facing the problem, but we
No,
need to be
but
much
but
more
but when we
wise.
say this problem has started recently, why I don't agree with this statement, because the incident of APS happened how many years ago? Do you remember? I think it's now
But
11
Samina,
years.
that was again the TTP, and at that time,
Exactly, but
no,
where were
no.
they
But the
coming
point,
from?
what it means is that at that time, Afghan Taliban were not running
In
the
power.
country of Afghanistan for that matter.
But
At
we
that
have to look
time,
at the
it was
fact
the Americans.
we have to look at the fact that America has left Afghanistan and they left a lot of ammunition behind.
Well, there's a lot behind it. I've been
So there was
thinking
some, that
about
was
it
for a
ever
reason.
since. There's a lot behind it. How America left, why they left, and why they left all those armaments there. Why? What was the need of all that? We can always debate on that, and that's a open secret. No one really wants to discuss about it. But the point is, now we should really not have
Yeah.
confrontation on
No,
our
no,
both sides.
I agree. I agree here with all of you on a point here that we should try and resolve matter with utmost intellect, because we are not in a position to open all the borders, and I agree with that. But this problem, whatever is happening, as you mentioned, Shabir, that quite rightly, that it was our own problem. We made this problem, and now we are suffering.
Can I-
So I think it's never too late. Yes, Asif, go on.
Can I say that it's funny that this escalation started after President Trump's desire to take Bagram air base back from Afghanistan? We have to keep international dimensions as well. Who is trying to please who? And I think that in interest of Pakistan, because I'm worried about my own motherland, that we should have sense should prevail. Afghans are not going anywhere. Pakistanis are not going anywhere. We will stay together. There are tribes who are residing on both sides of border, same tribes. So we cannot afford a war, a long-term war with Afghanistan. We should try to settle this issue for once and all. and
Right.
try to resolve it, as Imran Khan said, with dialogue.
Yeah, no, I agree with this point, and it is a very sane point, and I hope that we are involved in dialogues now. Pakistan is involved in dialogue now, and I hope that there is some results should come soon. But looking at the history of Afghanis, they are not, you can't settle them easily. Obviously, there must be some demand from the other side, and money plays a very important part, and India is much richer in cash than Pakistan, so obviously there must be some kind of hiccups. But the point you just mentioned about Bagram Air Base, that Trump is very much interested to get in Bagram Air Base, I'll give you an update. And I continuously follow Parveen Sani. He's a very renowned journalist of India, and what he confirmed in one of his program, that there is a new ambassador of America in India, who has been just posted. He's a very close friend of Trump, and he has actually, in a very close net discussion, he told journalists that whatever his investigations are since he came here in India, he is going back to Trump and telling him to advise him against his wishes, that please don't fancy getting Bagram Air Base. So that was an update I thought I must inform you as well. Let's move on to the final point here, and this is in relation to Azad Kashmir politics. Politics is very funny game, but when it comes to Azad Kashmir politics, you sometimes can't even understand what's happening. So what is happening at the moment, that the present Prime Minister, who was backed by, obviously he belongs to PTI, but that government was backed by other parties as well. There were different members who made the government, which is very funny, but it has happened. And now there is a coup going against this sitting Prime Minister Anwar ul Haq, and he has been asked to resign, but he said no, he's not going to go. If anybody wants to, push him away, they have to bring a vote of no confidence, and they need 27 members. And I think People's Party have backed them. All those MLAs which were once affiliated with PTI, I think they have joined hands with People's Party as well to get this man out of the house. And if you look at the performance of this Prime Minister, I think he visited Muzaffarabad, which is the capital of Azad Kashmir, throughout his career, I think only twice, and he mostly lives in Islamabad, and then that's how they run the government. So Asif, politics is a funny game, but what are you looking at, and what do you think about this? Do you think People's Party will be able to form the government?
I'll make a short statement. I think, like Pakistan, where people have been deprived to elect their government and to run their own affairs, Azad Kashmir is going in the same direction.
He was always in the same direction. Azad Kashmir was always in the same direction.
People have been deprived of ruling themselves, and those dark forces who've been interfering in Pakistan and not letting people rule Pakistan, they're doing the same thing with people of Azad Kashmir. I think recently there was a hope that when Action Committee came out, and they have mobilized and motivated people, and there were some really legitimate demands, and I thought that they will be able to, in the long term, run for elections and maybe bring about change in Azad Kashmir. You know what happened to PTI government, and I really am disheartened the way things are developing in Azad Kashmir, where some PTI members have been either, I don't know whether they've been forced or bribed or whatever, they've joined PPP. And I can tell you something, by doing all these tactics, there will be no stability in Azad Kashmir. I don't see no stability because there's a lot of unrest. The young people are totally fed up of this present leadership of Azad Kashmir because they are not competent.
Which one? You mean Anwar ul Haq? You mean the recent, the
majority of them are just puppets, and they don't have roots in public of Azad Kashmir. People of Azad Kashmir have now, they've gone on a different route. They want to see a change, and doesn't matter what these people do, end of the day there will be real change in Azad Kashmir. I can see it in coming months and years.
Right. Yes, same question to you, Shabir Hussain. What are you thinking when you're looking at this scenario? This is very funny, but this is how it is.
Interestingly, I find people from Azad Kashmir are much more political aware, and they know their rights better than the other parts of Pakistan, for that matter, in my view. And they have shown that through the National Action Committee, whatever demands, as Asif said, very legitimate demands, and they were not talking all the nonsense or whatever we find the extra things in other parts of the country. So I think they cannot really continue doing the same in Azad Kashmir for a very long time. As a matter of fact, if we look in the past, all these governments of Azad Kashmir were formed by the government of in Pakistan. They were always pro central government. Any party who would take over the central government in Pakistan would form a government in Azad Kashmir also, because of those 7-8 seats. I don't know how many seats they are, which are outside the Azad Kashmir
12.
and people from Jammu.
12.
How many are there?
12.
So,
12.
so there are so many factors around it, and this time when people realized all that, and they started demanding the abolishment of all such things and other rights, things are going to change. They will change. Now they are bringing in a vote of no confidence, of removal of the current government. Whosoever new comes, he is not going to be the representative of the people. People want their own voice to be heard, and that is going to come through.
But you know what they.
Otherwise, the situation would be very difficult.
Yeah, I am a Kashmiri myself, and I am from Muzaffarabad, which is the capital of Azad Kashmir. But the problem is that any elected prime minister, they do not stay in the capital. They don't visit capital so often. They normally reside in Islamabad. But this current prime minister, Mr. Anwarul Haq, he has only, I think, visited capital twice throughout his career as a prime minister. He normally lives in Islamabad, or he stays there in Pakistan. And most interestingly, that he doesn't travel in his Mercedes, which is designated car for a prime minister. I think he travels through a normal car, which is an Alto. But the whole protocol is still following him. So I don't understand the drama of this. That if you are not getting the privilege, this is fine, good, might look good in public eye, but why this whole protocol, empty cars are following you? Then they should not be following you as well. So this kind of this two-faced personality, or the show off, I would say, is not good. So this has always happened in Kashmir, but this time this is a bit too much. Shahram, what do you think?
Yeah, that's the dilemma of AGK politics, that always the federal government, they have this significant control on them, and as you said, the Prime Minister, he spent more times in Islamabad than Muzaffarabad. I believe so. He travelled more outside the country than travelled from Islamabad to Muzaffarabad. Yes, so as when you don't follow the will of the people, like they were elected by the people in the past, and then they change their loyalties and they move to another party, and now again, what happened a couple of days ago in Sindh House, most of their MLAs, they joined Pakistan People's Party as well, because it's just a game to gain more power in that region. That's it. Again, the people and the youth, even Asif said that the people, our other guest said that the people are more aware, they have more awareness than other parts of the Pakistan. Yes, they came out last month. They made action committee, they sent their reservations to them, they got some of the approvals as well. This is what is happening at the moment now. But again, if you are bribe the people or ask them to change their loyalties, and this is the solution, then this is not a solution for long term. Again,
this is unfortunately the politics, Pakistani politics. Now, Asif, I recently interviewed the main guy who actually led that Awami Action Committee. I don't know if you've seen it from my own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And what he mentioned, that the reason because they had 38 points agenda, and one of the agenda was to get rid of these 12 seats. But very interestingly, that point was added at the end. It was not there in the beginning. And what the revelation is that actually it was the Prime Minister of Azad Kashmir who was behind that. That is alleged. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's alleged, that he was the one who actually asked Awami Action Committee to put this agenda item in their wish list as well. Do you think that could be?
That is a possibility. The general feeling is that obviously there is a large Kashmiri community residing in UK, and I did take part in some of the those campaigns and events in support of Action Committee. And the general feeling is that those 12 seats are used and abused to control people of Azad Kashmir, to form the government that Islamabad wants to establish in Azad Kashmir, and that's the general feeling. And they say that the General Assembly member takes so many votes, and these people come from Pindi and Peshawar and whatever with maybe merely 300 or 400 votes, and they take all the privileges and they use all
Sorry,
resources.
let me stop you,
So
Asif.
that
I think
kind of feeling.
that's you made a very interesting point. I think that is not correct. Not 400 votes, but I think the maximum they go is 2,500 to 3,000 votes. It's not like that.
I'm aware of Samina because in my area, there is my area is part of that seat as well. One of the seats, and we have some people settled in our area, and similarly relatives in Peshawar. So that's what I'm saying. What people are saying generally, that they're sick and tired of use and abuse of their national resources, and the Azad Kashmir is a deprived area, is not developed, is disputed area, and they want to see development and that this kind of thing. And I've seen that abuse. And when you say that every president and prime minister is settled in Islamabad, yes, they do come to Muzaffarabad to take oath, and then they go back.
Then they go back.
Never to be seen.
Yeah, then they go back, and they don't come back because the roads. If they travel often to Muzaffarabad, they can see the condition of the roads. They can see the way this Kashmiri population is surviving from past so many years. But I think, like Shabir said, that that they have more understanding. Why? Because they have suffered a lot. They have seen.
It was funny that I was in Muzaffarabad at last oath taking of President Sultan Mahmood Saab, and after that any prime minister, any president of it's not happening in this term or recent. It's always same case. That they think Islamabad is more relevant than Muzaffarabad to keep them in power.
By the way, I've heard that Barrister Sultan Mahmood has defected as well, along with his son. Have you heard about that?
Not surprising. Not surprised.
But he is associated with PTI, so I thought I'll give you the news.
It's really funny. He was in PPP, then PTI, then PPP, and prior to that he was in a different party too. He is always all over the place.
Here and there. But if he come back to PTI, do you think PTI should still also again take him back? Like, okay, come on now, you're back home.
I think the way things are going at the moment, I think PTI has got rid of a lot of garbage.
Right. But if this garbage comes back, do you think they will still?
I don't think so.
If they say yes,
their bags are open. Then them are the elected. I don't think so.
I tell you, the way Khan Sahib went for a grassroots worker in KPK, and the way he made some recent appointment, I think, and he said in his statement that he is happy. Some of those people, two-faced people, have gone, and some really die-hard workers have replaced them. So it's a good thing.
Right. So that's the point, Asif, because I know you're my friend, and I know you're very die-hard PTI worker. But I think I will be very happy to see that if PTI made a statement that, look, whoever has left the party and defected, whatever happened, we will never take them back. Then that's something very reassuring.
I think if our leadership will not learn their lesson even now, then what can I say? Then I can say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
Shabir Hussain, what's your take on on Azad Kashmir political situation at the moment?
I would say, unfortunately, I always feel that we have some manufacturing fault in our society. I think we need to recall all of us and change our gears, like the Toyota would do for Corolla or something like that. We need to be called back, and there is something drastically wrong. We need to really work on our basics. Unless we address our basics, our ethics, our character building, we are not going to get anywhere. We need to really focus on them. Otherwise, you'll keep finding these kind of elite, so-called elite, mismanaging, doing all sorts of wrong to the society, to the poor, to the oppressed, and we'll continue to live the same way, the way we are living, which is very unfortunate. And we'll just watch it the way we are watching now. We'll continue to talk about it. Nothing will happen. And these people, they know, as you said, that they come only twice in 1 year or so, and the rest of the time they spend in Islamabad, the other part of the world. This is a norm with every corner, every segment of the society where these elite can exploit. They do that because they're not answerable to anyone. People don't really grab them. They don't really have the courage. We have not allowed the system to come up. We have been very hypocrite as a society, and unless we get rid of all those shackles, we break them, nothing is going to change, and that's what we need. And for that, I don't know whether we are waiting for Allah to come down, or I don't know. What can we do that?
Yeah, or Muhammad bin Qasim probably. But anyway, last question from all three guests. Do you, whatever the funny politics is, we have discussed it, but do you think it's a People's Party who will be making a government, Shahram?
Yes, I believe so, because the Prime Minister of AJK said they should produce a confidence of no vote.
No confidence.
Yeah, vote of no confidence against him. But the thing is, the People's Party said we got now 29 members.
Yeah.
So in the assembly they need 27. So I think so the People's Party will win this, and as this same formula will be shared in the federal government, that People's Party is doing nothing, but they are quietly supporting PMLN and Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz. And the same formula will be used in AJK, that in Kashmir Assembly. So People's Party will form the government, and they will calmly support them.
Yeah, PMLN made a very bizarre statement that they will be supporting vote of no confidence, but they will not be supporting in choosing leader of the House. I mean, what it is? If you are supporting vote of no confidence, that means you are actually supporting the leader. But that's the statement.
Something.
Yes,
Samina?
Asif. Yeah.
There is a competition who is better boot polisher at the moment, PMLN or PPP, and whoever is good polisher will win. At the moment, competition is between two parties, and this is bizarre statement because they are not legitimate party with gross roots in public at the moment. They have lost that confidence. They know they cannot win election. They cannot compete with PTI if there's a fair playground. So they know they can only come into power with the help of establishment. They are not bothered about people of Pakistan or Kashmir. So what I'm saying is, this is so bizarre that PMLN is not here, not there. They are saying we will support PPP in vote of confidence, but will not be. I don't know. It's so bizarre.
Yeah. So last comment from Shabir Hussain.
Well, Smita, it's so laughable. We all know it's so laughable, as you discussed, that one side they're not supporting the vote of no confidence, on the other side they are supporting PPP and doing all sorts of forming a new government. This all is rubbish. I'm saying, what are they trying to prove? Do they think the people are blind? But people are blind, to be very honest. They take it. We hope somehow or the other that they'll not be able to get away with all this for a very long time, and people would wake up somehow or the other. And
they have woken up. Kashmiris have woken up. Have you not seen them? They are awake, wide awake.
I hope so. But the point is, they wake up and then they put down again. They put them down to sleep again. This is how it's been working for such a long time.
My only worry is. My only worry is that Joint Action Committee is representing Kashmiris, and the way they have getting a wide support does show that. But my only worry is that I hope nobody can use this power as a mob against their own people, and especially to affect that special status which Kashmir still have in Azad Kashmir, but it's not there anymore in Indian side. So I hope that nobody actually tried and play a gimmick here to create the same kind of situation. But anyway, thank you very much, Shahram, Asif and Shabir Hussain. Thank you very, very much for your contribution. That's the program. I hope to see you in next program. Goodbye for now.